If we're all ready, we'll let these two guys get started.
Okay.
Mike Fleetwood and Don Heisen. And they're
Okay.
going to give us a demonstration on what they do, some carving and some piercing.
Okay.
So they have the floor.
Okay, this is a fixture, I've got a Trent Bosch fixture that does this. It'll let me position the thing and turn it or whatever. So I just made one out of wood so that I can do stuff like this. So it's basically the Trent Bosch unit that I just made. This one I've got is an NSK. I paid $500 for it. Does the same thing as that, only this has got more power. So I don't have to do it quite so thin. For that, you need maybe a 1/16 of an inch thickness in order for that to work right. I probably got a 1/16 in parts of this, and there's other places where it's probably a little thicker. But this unit will handle that. The dental drill setup won't. So, everything, all the detail work I do under magnification. My theory is that if it looks good to me under magnification, it'll look good to the person that's looking at it in the naked eye. And this is just a little fan that just blows the smoke away, because this thing runs about 300,000 RPM and it burns the wood. It's got a little tiny cutter. It's only a 1/16 of an inch. This cutter pierces, it'll go down straight, and it'll side cut as well. So that's why I use that. And I just do random shapes. I try to leave a fairly wide web, because after this is pierced, it's pretty fragile. So I leave an 1/8 of an inch, maybe a little less, between the holes, just to give it a little bit added strength. I've seen a lot of them where people go really, really thin with the web. To me, that makes it way too fragile. But I'm following my line as far as the pattern or the panel, but I'm not paying much attention to the respective shapes. I'm just trying to do something random. Each shape is kind of dictated by what I've done previously. Does this show up at all?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was good.
Well, I don't figure I'm going to do too much of this because it's going to be watching paint dry after a while.
Well, we can do it, but you got the dental drill right here. We can do it right now.
How thick can your wall thickness be?
Pardon?
How thick will it go through that bead?
Well, the actual cutting part of this tool is maybe 3/16, so I can't really go that deep, or I mean that thick. I've done some that are close to an 1/8. That's about the limit. This NSK machine was $500, but I do enough of it that I thought it was justified, just because I can do it faster with the better power. Pardon?
No?
I'm sorry?
I
Is
didn't
it
know if
jerky?
it actually hindered your movement of the shape that you want to get? Does it pull or?
When you hit that wood, do you feel?
No.
No.
It runs so fast that it doesn't. The grain just doesn't impact it at all.
It's going at like 300 RPM.
300,000.
300,000 RPM.
Yeah.
Like you're drawing with a pencil?
Kind of, in a way, yeah, yeah. I just try to keep it more reasonably vertical, but it doesn't have to be perfect.
How long do the tips last, the cutting bit?
They'll last quite a bit, quite a while. I use a piece of brass, it'll clean it. They are solid carbide, so they break. They're very brittle. So I've probably broken more than I've worn out.
Do you gotta sand each one of those holes?
No, I don't. I've seen where some people do. I sand the top, and it kind of blends it a little bit. Just, you can still feel the hole.
If you sand, if you needed to sand the inside of those holes, can you use that too? Why?
To me, it doesn't make any sense to do that. I sand the top so that it feels decent. You can still feel the hole, but it doesn't feel like a burr. But I can't see spending the time to go in each little hole and sand all those edges. That doesn't make any sense to me.
The tool is
Nobody's ever gonna know it.
tool is too fast to sand with.
Pardon?
I say it's too fast.
This would be too fast to sand with, yeah. I'm basically just trying different shapes to kind of go along with what I've done previously and keep them roughly the same size. I don't want a bunch of little holes and then a bunch of big holes. I try to keep them fairly random and also roughly the same size. That's my objective at least.
How long do you sit and do that on an average? Do you sit for an hour, for hours and do that, or
I'd probably do it for an hour or so and then I'll quit. Come back to
take a
it.
break?
Yeah. But like I say, with this machine, it goes much faster just because it's got more power. If I was using that dental drill, it would take me at least twice as long, I think.
If you're doing 5 holes on this, it'd be 1 hole on that one, like, or something.
I've got this down to a little more than a 1/16. So it'll be pretty flimsy when it's done. Well, anywho, I think I'll just continue on until I finish this panel, and I'll move to the next panel and then do it. But I'm following my pencil lines, and then when I'm done, I sand it with 400 grit, and you can still feel the holes, but you won't feel the burr after that.
How long do you estimate to do that whole thing? How long would it take?
Till it's done.
Probably 2 to 3 hours if I just did it.
What kind of pressure is on compressor?
Oh, it's regulated down to about 35 PSI.
Okay. So, any air compressor you got at home can
Right.
run it?
Long as the regulator, and that's got a regulator as well. I got it set for 35 or so. So this one, it just runs about 35 PSI.
So your air is your speed control then?
No,
No.
no.
There is
It
only
just-
one speed.
There's only one speed, yes. It runs at a constant 300,000 RPM, but at that pressure. I think a higher pressure would probably burn up the bearings
Yeah.
pretty quick.
So you're saying you take that down to about a 1/16 of an inch thickness.
I've done it.
How thick is it at your glue joint?
Yeah, my glue chain, I got about a 1/4 inch, maybe a little less.
So you have your shape and then you just turn it down there and then go into the 16th?
Yes, yeah. So it's probably out at the edge, it's 3/16 to a 1/4. But I have done them a little bit thicker, and I can do it with this machine, but I can't do it with that. That's all. And it depends on the wood too. So this is sycamore, it's relatively soft. It's still a hardwood, but it's not real hard. Maple would be a little tougher to do. So-
Don, have you ever had a miscue where you made the next hole and it broke into the whole mixture?
Oh yeah, once in a while. Not too often though. Every once in a while, yes.
And then do you compensate for that size and make the next one a little more like this?
Yeah, it won't be noticeable in the grand scheme of things.
All right. Terrific.
Anyway, I'll let Mike do his thing.
Good job.
What did I do?
Wanna,
What did I do?
I don't think